So jumping in, there's a lot of data that needs to be reported. So if you haven't started on gathering this already, you need to start as soon as possible. And to just a broad overview, and I want to get into the details now on what all those steps mean. And we'll start off with who has to report. So it's any private employer that has 100 or more employees, anywhere, any employee. We're not looking just at California. So it's just 100 or more employees anywhere, as long as one employee is working in California, then the employer has to submit this pay data report to the Civil Rights Division. I've got this definition of the employee set out here. It's basically anybody on the payroll, including part-time individual, for whom the employer is required to withhold federal Social Security taxes from their wages. Now, the 100 or more determination is made. The employer can look at if they meet this threshold of the number of employees. If the employer either employed 100 or more employees in the snapshot period, which I'll talk about here in a minute, or they regularly employed 100 or more employees during the reporting year, so during the entire year. Now, this definition of regularly employed I set out below, it's not entirely clear to me. It seems a little circular. So there's some ambiguity here on what that standard really means. But I would say if it's close and there's any question on whether you meet this 100 employee threshold or not, go ahead and submit the report just to avoid any potential penalties. Now, when determining if you meet this 100 employee or more threshold, you count the employees located inside and outside of California when you're making this determination. An employer with no employees in California during the reporting year is not required to file a pay data report. So you're only required to file it for the employees that are working here in California or are assigned to a facility here in California. So there could be remote workers that are assigned to a facility here in California that you're going to have to report on. And I'll have some examples about that here in a minute too. Now, part-time employees, including those who work partial days and fewer than each day of the work week, are counted as the same as full-time employees. And you have to count the employees unpaid for any kind of unpaid leave, suspension, or leave of absence as well for this 100 employee threshold.